I don't believe it. He's only gonna beat the juggernaut, ain't he? Yes, well, he may have looked absolutely shattered after about 2 rounds, but he not only managed to outpoint Big Joe, the first man to do so, but he also managed to put him on the canvas. Bloody hell. You just gotta say double fair play, old Boy Chisora. What a legend. I mean, I do have one little query. I'm not sure about the fight being over 10 rounds all of a sudden. How the bloody hell did that happen? But there we are. Actually, let's be honest, we probably all know how that happened. Boy said, make it 10 rounds or you can go and fuck right off. I am not fighting. And Big Joe had to oblige, because there's no way Team Joe called for 10 rounds. So a little bit cheeky, but that's just Del for you anyway. Now it looks like this is not the end. However, it got me thinking. The day it finally is, no matter what you think of him, boxing will lose an absolute titan of the sport. If you could design yourself the perfect boxing showman, you get yourself Boy Chisora. No stranger to controversy, sold and hyped to fight better than anyone, and when he got in the ring, although it wasn't always pretty, you knew he was only ever gonna do one thing: try and take the bloke's fucking head off, and he wouldn't ever stop trying as well, you best believe. Now the exact moment that Boy went from a decent boxer to mainstream bad boy was of course a brief altercation in Germany.
You wanna tell me my face? You lost the time. You wanna tell me my face? Tyson Fury. Alright, tell me my face then. I'm coming there and tell me my face. Tell me my face.
Yes, one of them unforgettable moments in British boxing. We fucking love it, don't we? It was all, how's your toe? He glossed me, it all fucking kicked off. Adam Booth got a fucking tripod straight on the nut. Ah, the memories. Oh, and I tell you what, here's a fun fact. Boy was banned indefinitely by the WBC that night after this brawl, and I say bloody right as well. Well done, Maurizio Salami. That's very noble of you, brother. And I tell you what, he's a proud man, that Maurizio. Alright, brilliant. He strikes again, doesn't he? Bloody hell. Hashtag been the fucking belts. Anyway. Now, there was obviously some genuine needle here, but let's be honest, this was Boy's blueprint on how to sell a fight, because when his opponents are close by and there's a camera pointing his way, strap in, because some sort of madness is about to go down. Oh yes, and this weren't his first taste of hype in a fight. He gave the Klitschko's a bit of aggro. Vitali got a cheeky slap, then he squirted water in the face of Vladimir. This man has never given a monkeys. But you know what? He's always been much more than just a hyper. You know, he began boxing at 19 out of Finchley ABC, the same gym where AJ started, and after only 20 amateur fights in 2007, bosh, he was immersed in the pro game and signed up with Uncle Frank. He was thrown in after only 5 fights with Sam Sexton, who was tipped to be a future British star, and he went on to spark him out with 30 seconds to go. Then in his 13th fight, after demolishing Danny Williams in just 2 rounds for that lovely British title, we all realised that this man is certainly no joke. I mean, we also had our first glimpse that he was nuttier than a fucking fruitcake when he bit Paul Butlin in his 10th fight. Bloody hell, straight out the Tyson handbook, that one. However, we were all on board the Boy train, but after another saucy knockout of Sexton in their rematch, Boy came up against his kryptonite. Yes, his first loss came at the hands of the mighty Tyson Fury in a 12-round slugfest, and I tell you what, some people are just made for each other, ain't they? Styles make fights, as they say, like the incredible duo of Hagler Hearns, Morales Barrera, Ali Frazier, and these two were not one fucking bit like any of them. Yes, we ended up getting a trilogy from Del and Tyson. I'm fucked if I know how. The first one was alright, I suppose, but then it was just always a mismatch with Fury's height and reach. Then unfortunately this started a bit of a downward spiral for old Derek. He beat some bloke called Remigus Hillis, then he lost a tight decision against Robert Hellenius, but somehow after this he still managed to get his first shot at a world title against Vitali. And well, yes, he gave a bloody good account of himself in this fight, taking him the full 12 rounds, a noble effort, but after losing he must have thought, well, I've had 3 losses in 4 fights now, that's not great, is it? I'm going to need to make a bit of noise to get another big fight, and fuck me did he do that. Bosh, enter David Haye. Now David had just lost to the other Klitschko, and after this infamous brawl there was no other fight the world wanted to see. However, it wasn't smooth sailing, because the British Boxing Board of Bollocks said, no, we ain't going near that, bruv. So Uncle Frank said, alright, fuck it, Luxembourg, get involved, me old son, and the fight was given the green light. Yes, we were off to Upton Park, a whopping 30,000 in attendance, and once again in true Boy style, he showed that lethal aggression, causing Haye all sorts of problems. Well, I say all sorts of problems, he didn't cause him any problems to the body, by the way, because look how bloody high that guard is. That's a bit of a liberty, innit? He might as well be using it as a fucking scarf. Anyway, yes, Boy was having some success up until he had a slight lapse of concentration.
Oh, big left hand and right! Tremendous shots from Haye! Left hook, right hand! Those chins in the business, but he couldn't stand up! And he's gone again! I don't think he's going to get up! 6 and 7 and 8. He has. He's waiting off. He stopped it!
So then this was a bit of a turning point for the big man. With 4 losses in only 19 fights, his record had taken a bit of a battering. However, his draw power was still rather strong. Everyone was still double intrigued by a Chisora fight because he was always pure entertainment, and from this moment on he became the gatekeeper of all gatekeepers. He returned with a run of good form, 4 straight knockouts including Malik Scott and a hammering of Kevin Johnson, before he found himself up against Fury for the second time in what was the biggest pile of shit fucking fight I've ever fucking seen. 15 quid I paid for that, thanks a lot. And yes, unfortunately it was back to the drawing board once again. Then he was knocking out the lower levelers for a while before he snagged up the first Pulev fight, and yes, come on people, have we learnt nothing from Germany? Do not hit this man in the face with any sort of beverage because he goes fucking mental. Calm down. Yes, there we are, and be honest, we bloody love it, don't we? I bet Coogan was creaming all down his trousers filming that. Fuck me, big up Coogan. And, well, sadly then, Del Boy lost again. Terrific. But shortly after, we got the rivalry we never knew we needed. The infamous rivalry with Dillian Whyte, and I reckon he thought, well, the Haye brawl and the Pulev brawl got a bit of attention. Fuck it, I'll up the ante on this one. Bosh. Yes, there he goes. And once again, the Board of Control went, oh, this is disgraceful. We cannot sanction this fight. And then they thought, oh, but then again, it is Del Boy, innit? Fuck it. What were we expecting? Let it go ahead. And it did, and thank fuck it did, because it was an absolute belter. There's a very good debate to be had if he actually won this fight. It could have gone either way, but you know, this man has just never got the rub of the green when it goes to points, so another loss was added to his already wayward record. Then in Monte Carlo, after losing to Caballel, a loss that has aged very well, though at the time it was very surprising, we all said, ah, he's done now, ain't he? Chisora, how's about thinking of calling it a day, bruv? Clearly, you ain't got much left. But my, were we wrong? But just before we get into that, how's about the prospect of turning yourself into a complete fighter with the help of today's sponsor, Boxing Timer Pro? Yes, this is a powerful all-in-one application that helps you train with structure and improve your lethal boxing skills much faster. Terrific stuff. This superb training platform makes it easy to develop into an all-round skilled fighter. You can build custom heavy bag workouts, select your own active recovery exercises, and even shuffle combinations. So if you want to train smarter, hone your craft and get in superb fighting shape today, download Boxing Timer Pro and master the sweet science. Link in the comments for an exclusive proper discount. Now where were we? Yes, as I was saying, we were very, very wrong.
Looking shot though coming from Takam, but Chisora needs to get off them ropes really, because he's doing himself no favours sitting back here. Big left hook. Oh, what a shot from Derek Chisora! This is Chisora's moment!
So this was probably the fight that cemented Del Boy as a British boxing icon. Okay, it was another gatekeeper in Takam, but still it was the manner in which he won this absolute war that made us take him firmly into our boxing hearts, and it opened up the door for another mega fight against his former foe. Plus, out of nowhere, David Haye then became his manager, and we all said, how the fucking hell did that happen? But we're all on board, now redefined as War Chisora. This was the resurgence of Del Boy, and then he lost again. Well, he got absolutely knocked bloody spark out, truth be told. But anyway, no, he weren't done yet. Even though it was a heavy knockout, in hindsight, Del was actually looking better than ever. Everyone agreed he was winning that fight before the knockdown, and then he looked good against Gashi, Spilker and David Price, once again cementing his place in the rankings way above European level guys, but always slightly below world level. And of course, there was no more needed evidence of this than when he gave the incredible Usyk the toughest fight of his heavyweight career. Yes, another one that possibly could have gone either way, but there we are. That's just Del Boy, innit? The greatest gatekeeper and the nearliest nearly man of all. Then the 2 fights with Parker were pretty good as well. He was a massive handful for Joseph as per, but still had no flowers to show for it. However, probably his finest night then came straight after in the Pulev rematch at his boxing home, the O2 Arena. And I tell you what, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I'll put this video out because I just knew he could do it, and he bloody did.
From Finchley, North London, England, Derek Chisora!
Yes, well done, Del Boy, blinding stuff. I mean, this didn't really justify another fucking Fury fight, but you know, Fury's the one who can't be forgiven for this cherry pick, whereas you gotta say, fair play, Del Boy landing the biggest payday of his career and a final whack at a world title. The world title that he was indefinitely banned from. Brilliant. Anyway, now it wasn't meant to be as expected, but it was nice to see him get that lovely little pension fund, and finally we thought, well, that really is it now. Bow out gracefully, Del Boy, you've done enough. But he said no bollocks, and he had a bit of Gerald Washington instead. And then it was on to Joe, and here we are, present day. Bloody hell, what a roller coaster. So whatever the future holds, there will never be another Derek Chisora. A fighter with the heart of a lion who came in to do damage. A man who could lose, then get an even bigger fight next time out. And a man who could get you more pumped up for Saturday night than any naughty amount of bugle ever could. What a legend. In the wise words of Ginny Bones, it really has been emotional.